हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है। फ्रेंड्स, आज के इस वीडियो में हम मार्च 5 2022 के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज़ करेंगे, एनालिसिस करेंगे, जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे क्लैट, एलेट और अदर लॉ एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स के लिए। एंड वी विल ऑल्सो डिस्कस अबाउट सर्टन इंस्टीट्यूशंस। कभी कभी क्लैट में इंस्टीट्यूशंस के बारे में पूछा जाता है, तो वी विल स्टडी दैट ऑल्सो। अलॉन्ग विद दैट we will also study what is called as Voter Island, and it is in the Jammu and Kashmir, and we will study that what is this Voter Island। हम उसको ये Voter Island ये नाम हम क्यों दे रहे हैं उसको। Along with that we will study about the new developments which have taken place in Russia-Ukraine crisis, and then we will move to the editorial where we are going to discuss the three capital of Andhra Pradesh, the current status after the judgment of the Andhra Pradesh High Court and what the High Court judgment has said. So let's start. So the first is halt hostilities for evacuation. India urges Russia and Ukraine both. So friends, there are two cities in Ukraine where Indian students are stranded. Over 1,000 Indian students are stranded in Kharkiv and Sumy. यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या है? प्रॉब्लम ये है फ्रेंड कि दिस टू सिटीज they are located on the eastern side of Ukraine, where there is heavy fighting going on between the Russian and Ukrainian troops. Because of that, it is very difficult for these Indian students to move to the nearest Russian cities. Okay, Russian cities जैसे कि हमने पढ़ा था बोलोग्रोड, हम पहले भी पढ़ते आ रहे हैं। बोलोग्रोड करके एक रशियन सिटी है जहाँ पे इंडियन ऑफिशियल स्टेशन है। So the idea is to move the Indian students to this city so that from there they can be evacuated. But Indian students का इस city को पहुंचना भी बहुत difficult हो रहा है because of the heavy fighting. So that's why India has urged the local ceasefire between Russian and Ukraine troops so that they can be evacuated easily. Now, अब हमने पहले भी देखा था कि जो रशिया के जो डिप्लोमेट हैं, एम्बेसडर हैं टू इंडिया, न्यूली अपॉइंटेड रशियन एम्बेसडर टू इंडिया, दैट इज़ डेनिस एलिपोव। ये नाम बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, डेनिस एलिपोव। तो इन्होंने पहले ही एश्योरेंस दिया था दैट रशिया इज़ थिंकिंग ऑफ प्रोवाइडिंग ए ह्यूमैनिटेरियन कॉरिडोर फॉर द इवैक्यूएशन ऑफ सिटीजन्स। तो अगर हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे देयर आर सर्टेन इम्पॉर्टेंट सिटीज़ नेम जो इम्पॉर्टेंट है, चेक पॉइंट जो हैं जहाँ से इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स को इवैक्यूएट करने वाले हैं। सो इफ़ यू विल स्टडी दैट 130 कंफर्टेबल बसेस आर रेडी टू डिपार्ट टू खार्किव एंड सुमी, द सिटीज़ इन यूक्रेन, फ्रॉम नेखोतेवेका विच इज़ नियर बेलगोरोड एंड सुत्जा नियर कुर्स्क चेक पॉइंट्स। तो अगर हम देखेंगे खार्किव जो है वो बेलगोरोड के नज़दीक है और सुमी जो है वो कुर्स्क के नज़दीक है। The next is Russia seizes nuclear plant. तो रशियन फोर्सेस जो हैं they have seized Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. This is Europe's largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine. So this is very important from the exam point of view, that which is the largest nuclear power plant in Ukraine. So the answer is Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which is in Ukraine. Now the United Nations Security Council has expressed alarm at the prospect of nuclear incident की, because रशियन ट्रूप्स के अंडर ये आ गया है, वहाँ पे हैवी फायरिंग चल रहा है बिटवीन द टू फोर्सेस। द यूक्रेनियन ट्रूप्स आर डिफेंडिंग दिस न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट एंड देन रशियन ट्रूप्स आर अटैकिंग दिस न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट, तो कोई न्यूक्लियर एक्सीडेंट न हो जाए। देन टिल नाउ हाउ मैनी इंडियंस हैव बीन इवैक्यूएटेड अंडर ऑपरेशन गंगा? सो about 3,700 Indians from Ukraine have returned on 17 special flights as the part of Operation Ganga. Now, another 11 special flights may bring 2,200 Indians on Saturday. Now, coming to this news, India abstains again in UN vote. अब यहाँ पे है कि India abstains again in the United Nations vote. इसका मतलब कि इसके पहले भी India has abstained from vote against Russia. So these bodies were United Nations Security Council, जहाँ पे रेजोल्यूशन आया था 8979. So India voted against this resolution. ये जो रेजोल्यूशन था backed by USA, this resolution called for halt of Russian aggression in Ukraine and return to talks. But India has not voted again, has not voted for this resolution. Balki India abstained from the voting along with China and UAE. The second body where India abstained from voting was United Nations General Assembly. So United Nations General Assembly, it is a 193 member body of the United Nations. It is one of the principal organ of the United Nations. And over here, when the resolution was being discussed for halting the Russian invasion in Ukraine and return back to talks, so here also India along with China abstained from voting. But there was a significant departure in the stand of United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates जो है, it abstained from voting in United Nations Security Council, but it voted in favor of resolution in United Nations General Assembly. Now the third UN body, that is United Nations Human Rights Council, which is headquartered in Geneva, it decided to set up the council for an international commission of inquiry into Russia's action in Ukraine. Okay, so over here, out of the 47 members, 32 countries, okay, voted for the resolution that asked the Human Rights Council president to appoint 3 human rights experts for a year to inquiry into Russia's action in Ukraine. Now again, just like the United Nations Security Council and United Nations General Assembly resolution, again this body called for strongly condemned the aggression by Russia, and it has also raised issue on the forced displacement of 6,60,000 refugees due to Russian invasion. Now out of the 47 members, 32 voted in favor of it. Okay, now around 13 countries okay, have abstained from the resolution. They have not voted, means they have abstained. Those countries are India, China, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Sudan, Uzbekistan and Venezuela. Now friends, what is this United Nations Human Rights Council? So we will study that what is this United Nations Human Rights Council. So if you will just give a focus here, this is very important. हमने कुछ दिन पहले हमने पढ़ा था यूनाइटेड नेशन हाई कमिश्नर फॉर रेफ्यूजीज. Okay, that is also one of the very important United Nations program. You can know about it by following my earlier videos, but today we are going to study about United Nations Human Rights Council. So the United Nations Human Rights Council, okay, yeah, so we will do here the United Nations Human Rights Council. The nature of this body is that it is intergovernmental body. It is intergovernmental body under the United Nations. Then what is the aim? The aim is to promote and protect all human rights around the globe. The headquarters is in Geneva and the membership is 47. These 47 members are elected from the United Nations General Assembly for the period of 3 years, and the members are not eligible for re-election once they have been elected, once they have served the 2 consecutive terms at the United Nations Human Rights Council. Then it was created in 2006. Now the Supreme Court related to Russia-Ukraine crisis, it has asked to open helplines for kin of Indian nationals. So the Supreme Court has acknowledged center's effort in Ukraine crisis, but it has asked the government to take families of stranded students into confidence. Okay, so these are the certain suggestions from the Supreme Court. Now coming to Sumy. Now Sumy का थोड़ा सा special case हो गया है as compared to Kharkiv. So there are several hundred of students at Sumy, which is again a city in eastern Ukraine. Okay, and if you will just see that there is little progress on creating the humanitarian corridor for the evacuation of civilians over here. Fine. While students in Kharkiv, they were able to reach a checkpoint that is called as Pesochin after an advisory from the Ministry of External Affairs asked them to leave the city very soon. But if we will just talk about the situation in Sumy, so Sumy it is cut off from all sides because roads and rails tracks have been damaged because of the ongoing fighting. The next is Operation Ganga, which we have already done. So over 3,700 Indians have returned on Friday from the 17 special flights. These flights are being operated by Air India. Now friends, coming to this news, that what is Voter Island. Now, in our country, it is the responsibility of delimitation constituency to draw the geographical boundary of constituencies in India for the election purpose. Now, suppose there is a constituency A, okay, whose geographical boundary is such that one part of the constituency is cut off from the other part of the constituency, and in between we have different constituencies such as B, okay, and this is the part of constituency A. Fine. So here this part will be called as voter island. This part will be called as voter island. So what has happened in certain districts like Rajouri and Kishtwar in Jammu and Kashmir is that the delimitation exercise has been carried in such a way that it has led to creation of certain exclusive enclaves of a constituency. तो जो एक कुछ part है, जो कुछ area constituency का ऐसा है which is totally cut off from the other areas of constituency. Now, if you will see the Delimitation Act 2002, it says that the constituency should be geographically contiguous. Contiguous का मतलब कोई भी एक एरिया दूसरे एरिया से totally cut off नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be contiguous. But over here it is not contiguous. So such area is called as voter island. Now, certain important things that the delimitation, the Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Act 2020 has created a delimitation commission for Jammu and Kashmir, which is chaired by retired Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, and the other members are Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra and State Election Commissioner, who are the ex officio members of this delimitation commission. Now friends, again coming to this, Russia seizes Europe's largest nuclear plant. So we have already done it from the front page. So the name of this plant is Zaporizhia plant. Now, because of this, the United Nations Security Council is holding a meeting to discuss this Zaporizhia fire, because there is a fear that it can lead to nuclear accident in the area. Now, if you will just see that in past, around in 1986, there was one nuclear accident in Ukraine which is called as Chernobyl nuclear accident. Chernobyl nuclear accident. So earlier, when Ukraine was the part of USSR, so this Chernobyl nuclear accident took place in 1986 due to melting down of nuclear plant. Again, if you will see, before that in 1979, 3 Mile nuclear accident took place in USA. 3 Miles Island nuclear accident. This is very important. Sometimes it can be asked. 3 Miles nuclear island nuclear accident. Sorry, it took place in 1979. This 3 Mile nuclear island, 3 Mile Island nuclear plant, it was located in Pennsylvania in USA. Now, friend, please tell me that recently, 10 years back, around 10 years back, a nuclear accident took place in Japan. So what was the name of that nuclear plant and in which year it happened? Please write me in the comment box. The next is Iranian nuclear deal. So we have already done this news 2 days back. So Iran nuclear deal, joint comprehensive agreement between Iran and P5+1 country. So this P5+1 country, this is permanent 5 members plus 1 का मतलब Germany है, ठीक है. So this deal which was signed in 2014. So in 2018, when President Trump became the US president, he withdrew from the deal. Now again the other countries along with Iran, they tried to revive the Iranian nuclear deal. Among them were China, Russia, then France, UK and Germany. Okay, so now they are very close to reviving the Iranian nuclear deal. यहाँ पे एक चीज mention किया गया है, that is called as E3 negotiations. Who are these E3 negotiators? These E3 negotiators are France, Germany and UK. Now coming to IAEA, International Agency for International Atomic Energy Agency. Its headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. It was established in 1957. The motto of International Atomic Energy Agency is Atom for Peace. Atom for Peace. The next is who is the Director General of IAEA? Then he is Rafael Grossi. Rafael Grossi. Rafael Grossi. Now one more name is very important, that the name is that who is the negotiator, who is the negotiator from Iran side for the Iranian nuclear deal. So that name has come in the news quite prominently. So the Iranian negotiator for nuclear deal is Ali Bagheri Kani. Ali Bagheri Kani. This name is very important. Now friends, from the sports news, Shane Warne, he was the Australian spinner. Okay, he was also called as king of spin. He passed away in his villa in Thailand because of the suspected heart attack. So if you will just see his career, it stretched from 1992 to 2007. He had taken 708 test wickets. Okay, and he has died in Thailand at the age of 52. Now the next is that one more Australian wicketkeeper, Australian cricket player has died. He is Rod Marsh, who passed away at 74 in Adelaide. So he is the Australian cricket great Rod Marsh, who is widely regarded as the one of the finest wicket keeper. Okay, now he died at the age of 74-year-old. He had played 96 tests and was a long time national selector. Now friends, in editorial, this news is important. So recently the Andhra Pradesh High Court had directed the state government Andhra Pradesh to create the Andhra Pradesh capital region within 6 months to develop the plots and give it to farmers. Okay, and it has also said that it is that the state legislature lacked the competency to shift the organs of the state. Now what is the whole story? So the whole story is that in 2011, when the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act was passed, the state of Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated into two states, that is Telangana with the capital Hyderabad, and then Andhra Pradesh. The remaining region were called as Andhra Pradesh. Now Andhra Pradesh wanted to create the capital, so in 2014 the Amravati region was chosen as a site for the capital of Andhra Pradesh by the earlier government. But when the elections took place in the state legislative assembly and when the new government was elected, the new chief minister Y.S. Jagamohan Reddy, he mooted the idea of decentralized development. Now what is this decentralized development? The decentralized development means that instead of having one capital, let's have three capitals. Okay, one will be Amravati, the next will be, as you can see, Amravati, which will be the legislative capital, Visakhapatnam, which is the executive capital, and Kurnool, which is going to be the seat of the High Court. Now the earlier government had already taken 33,000 acres of land from the farmers and had already spent rupees 15,000 crore for the development of Amravati region. Now if the government changed the capital from one capital to three capital, so it was going to be the loss for the farmers who had already given their land to the state government for development of the capital region. So farmers, they filed a case in the High Court, and High Court has now directed the state government to अब वो जो है the High Court has directed that now the state government must develop this Amravati as the capital city of the Andhra Pradesh within 6 months. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet next week again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, take care. Thank you.